This is The Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral.com.
Good morning, Tuscaloosa, Internet world, West Alabama. How we doing today on a Friday? It's a football Friday on the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, BamaCentral.com. You guys are hanging out with us on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. You're watching us on the BamaCentral Facebook page, listening to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. We're going to have a lot of fun today on a football Friday. It's the Joe Gaither Show on BamaCentral, live in the Derek Daniel State Farm Studios. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much he can save you today on your home, your life, your auto insurance, your renter's insurance. Derek would love to talk to you about really anything in the insurance realm. You want to go ahead and just double check your policy, check your auto insurance rates with Derek. Call him today at 205-758-3391. We're going to have a lot of fun today with our man Mason Woods. Follow Mason Woods at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. You can find him for all the recruiting news on the Walsh Writing Network for Alabama, for Vanderbilt, for Boston College, and for Missouri. If you are interested in any of those schools on the recruiting front, Mason Woods is your man. Follow him at MAWoods_ on the Twitter machine. We're going to have a lot of fun today. We're going to look back on our week just a little bit. We're going to talk a little bit about our favorite portions with Slade Bolden, with Mac Hereford, and with Kirk McNair. We had a lot of fun with our guest all week long. We're going to talk about SEC future schedules, because on Tuesday, the SEC office is going to announce its 3 permanent opponents.
I'm ready to get mad about it.
Yeah, I mean, next 4 years are going to be set. That's one thing that I will give them credit for. They didn't say permanent in perpetuity. They said reevaluation in 4 years. So you'll get down with that. You'll be set with 3 opponents in for 4 years, and we'll talk about who Alabama is likely to draw. I wrote out all 16 teams last night and started pairing you with you, and ended up with my guesses on who Alabama is going to get and who the rest of the SEC is going to get. So we'll talk about that. We'll discuss our time in the Malmore Athletic Facility yesterday. We heard from Caden Proctor, Isaiah Horton, and Bray Hubbard. Those guys were prickly yesterday. Well, Caden wasn't. Caden was great, but Isaiah Horton and Bray Hubbard were not too forthright, which that's okay. That's sometimes what happens when you come off a football field.
Maybe it's a good sign for this upcoming game.
Maybe
having
so.
Enough practices.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe so. But first practice back after 3 days off, and the guys are feeling pretty prickly afterwards. So you can see that on the Bama Central YouTube channel if you're wondering what we're talking about. And we will also just go ahead and hit on some of the better games this weekend. Oklahoma, Auburn. You got lots of good games. You got Utah is hosting who? Texas Tech. You got a great game at the end, Illinois and Indiana late in the night. So lots of fun games to talk about this weekend. But first, before we get into anything at all, we need to ask Mason Woods how he's doing.
I'm doing good this morning. Doing good. Had to get up a little early, get the help Melissa get her car dropped off at the car dealership. Getting a little bit of work today, so we'll see. Hopefully that all goes smoothly. Seems like everything's going to go smoothly from what we heard this morning, so shouldn't have any issues for the rest of the day. You mentioned the a little bit of recruiting news, a little bit for Vanderbilt yesterday. They unfortunately missed out to another SEC foe on a 4-star commit. Gage Mayfield, actually from Alabama, from
Hale County, right?
Yeah, from Hale County, Herb Jones neck of the woods. But yeah, he's going to be going to Oklahoma. A tough miss for Mark Byington, but I think the Vanderbilt's doing okay. They're seemingly leveling up in both basketball and football pretty rapidly.
That Nashville money, man, is flowing in, and those folks in Nashville are tired of having an irrelevant squad.
And I think that they finally have at least seemingly 2 coaches that they're comfortable enough with throwing money at.
Yeah, for sure. Clark Lee being one, and Mark Byington being the other. I think Mark Byington, he's going into his 3rd year or 2nd year.
I think this will be. Is it 3rd?
I think this will be his 3rd, and he's really proven over these couple of years to do more with less.
Yeah, last year, what was it last year? They didn't have a player on their roster over 6'10", I think, and they made it to the tournament. It was crazy.
Yes, let's see. So no, last year was his first, wasn't it? Yeah, 24 was his first. Okay. So he's going into 2nd year, and really turned them around in so quickly. Because what was it, Jerry Stackhouse? Mm-hmm. Was that who? Yeah, really kind of. They had a pretty bad time, but the last couple of years of Stackhouse has run. So good job. That's tough, Mark Bynum, too. Hale County's own, the Mayfield kid, he goes, I'm going to bring the Mayfield name back to Oklahoma in a different sport.
That's okay. Maybe he'll wear number 6, too. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, that would be sweet. Would be sweet. So go Wildcats. Hale County Wildcats sending a kid to Oklahoma. We will be at Hillcrest tonight for the WVUA Game of the Week, Hillcrest and Hewitt-Trussville. You can see me tonight at about 11:02 on WVUA 23 during Football Friday with Gary Harris. We'll talk about the win or the loss for the Hillcrest Patriots and talk about how good or how bad Hewitt-Trussville looked. I think the winner of this game tonight down on Patriot Parkway is going to be leading the region. They're leading this little region, 7A. I don't know if it's region 3 or 4, but basically it's the Thompson, the Hoover, the Hewitt-Trussville region. The winner tonight is going to be stepping into the driver's seat. So we'll look forward to that this evening.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen with the Hoover Bucks.
Yeah, tough times.
Tough times. I mean, what are they, 0-3 right now to start the season? You lose to IMG, right, week 1. You lose to Hillcrest week 2, and I think they lost again.
ASF, let's see what their schedule is.
Tough scenes up there.
Because that'll just let us know. Hoover, NFL, Hoover. They are lost to IMG. They beat Spain Park. They lost to Hillcrest, and they lost to Hewitt-Trussville. So they're 1-3.
Ooh. It's a tough spot to be in.
1-3. It's 7A Region 3.
Yeah, okay. I've got the standings pulled up here.
Yeah.
Looks like, Vestavia Hills, Hillcrest tied 1-1 apiece with, their region records, and then Hooverson at 0-2. So they're probably not firmly out, but pretty firmly out of winning that one.
Prattville, Thompson, and Hewitt-Trussville all 2-0. So we'll see what happens tonight down on Patriot Parkway. You can come join us down there if you'd like to. Come say hello. We'd love to say hello to you. Mason Woods, what do you think was the best part of the week so far on the show with Slade, with Mac, with Kirk? What do you think What do you think you enjoyed the most this week?
I think it had to have been hearing that Coach Bryant thought the animation on the television was the actual moon landing, and like jumping for joy at the excitement, only to be told, 1, hey coach, you're dumb for thinking that, by his wife, and then 2, you're cut off for the night, buddy. that was a tough 1-2 punch for old ball coach right there. That was hearing just. There's so much, that obviously growing up as a much later Alabama fan, not being able to experience the prime years of Bear Bryant or any years of Bear Bryant, there's just so much that I don't know. And it's really, really cool to hear from someone who was there with firsthand experience. In the weeds, actually there for every bit of it, pretty much.
You're right. I thought Kirk's, I know that it went a little bit longer than we usually do, but I just thought, I didn't want to cut him off at any point, and I wanted to keep asking questions, and so it just kept going. And I was just when he where's the media at the
spring game,
the close scrimmage or whatever, and he said, "Coach, you told you told the media they can't come." So I called everybody and told them they couldn't come. He said, "Well, the media's our friends. That's not what I meant."
Yeah. It's just not the way it is nowadays. I do not believe that Kalen DeBoer would refer to the media as his friends.
Oh, he did. I will give Coach DeBoer credit. I know that he sent well wishes to Katie and Tony when their engagement was announced. Nice. When they went on social media, I believe that they got a text message. Congratulations on your engagement. So nice. So a while ago, but and I think that he does.
He's not mean. Right. Not, he's not abrasive or anything.
But we're not going to hang out at his house.
No, he's not inviting us for retreats. He's not giving us really any bit of access that he does not have to give us, But that's like that with everywhere, pretty much.
That's true.
Very few college football programs are super open. If you're any bit, relevant, you're pretty shut off.
Yeah, that's true. I think the thing that blew my mind the most, I love that story, the animation of the moon landing. Is, look, there it is.
Just think, because, Coach Bryant grew up dirt poor. It's not like, it's just, he has such a, had such a different concept of just what he was seeing on television than you or I have nowadays, with just how used to it we are, and then also not growing up in the same circumstances he grew up in. I'm sure that it just really, he really and truly thought in his mind, oh, well, that's what that would look like because I have no concept to even imagine what this would look like.
Yeah, this is July 1969. This is 16. My dad is 7 years old. Is 8 years old. So like, this is wild. That story, and then the story of implementing the wishbone was just. You're going to change your offense in August?
That's crazy.
You're going to, hey guys, know y'all had summer workouts. I know we did spring football on one offense, but come on in, guys, huddle up. We're going to teach you something new.
What's the fastest that you think a modern college football team could implement a whole new system like that? Because like I don't even know that they could do it in a whole off season.
No, 8 months.
Yeah, it would. And even then, there'd be a lot of growing pains those first few weeks of the season.
Yeah, definitely. 1,000%.
No, I'm sure there probably was some with Alabama, too, that we don't know about because we didn't watch it. But they were pretty dang good with that wishbone.
You're seeing, like, I'm watching the Bears, and they're implementing Ben Johnson's offense, and it's still looking like, not quite there. And you had all offseason and now a couple of weeks of into the season. Like, and Ben Johnson's up there going, well, we're going to be good in December. Oh, okay, coach. Thanks.
Cool, man.
It's going to be a while. but you're going to.
This is what it does. It's nature of the beast now. Like, I'm sure, it's a little more complicated now than it probably was, with just the level of athletes on the field, the concepts and schemes and things that have been developed over the last 40, 50 years.
We should have asked him if they were the NCAA restriction, the 20-hour rule, or if they were just out there all day.
Oh, man, yeah. I didn't think about that. Because I bet that was a part of it.
Yeah.
Probably much longer practices than what these kids are going through nowadays.
Dang it, Billy, let's do it again.
Yeah. You get to go home when the sun goes down, buddy. And even then, we'll cut these lights on.
Oh, that was such a great time with Kirk. And then we had a great time with Slade Bolden on Tuesday and a great time with Mac Hereford on Thursday. So if you missed any of these programs of the week, look, I know it's a bye week and you guys are all taking your vacation from Alabama football, but I am pretty proud of what we did over the last 3 days. What do we want to start with today? You want to start with what we heard yesterday in the facility? Do you want to go into SEC schedules or something different, Mason?
Well, we can start with what we heard yesterday, just to keep things tightly focused, and we can just branch out as we go. And as we do, by the end of the show, we'll be talking about something that's probably not even Alabama related.
That's right. We love it right here on the Joe Gaither Show. You guys can put your comments into at Joe Gaither 6 at MA Woods _ You can put it into BamaCentral. Leave us a voicemail if you heard anything wacky, or if you enjoyed any of these programs this week. You can call and let us know your favorite aspects at 205-462-7340 extension 800. If you have questions you want us to ask Kirk on the next time, I would love to take your voicemail as well, because I am definitely going to try to get Kirk back in here in about 2 weeks or so. I want to respect his time. Don't want to have him in here every day, because he told me he drove a pretty decent ways to be here. So I really appreciate him doing that. If you have questions for Kirk, you can call at 205-462-7340 extension 800, or next week's Georgia Thoughts right there as well. What did we hear yesterday? We started with Isaiah Horton. When we moved to Bray Hubbard, and then Caden Proctor came in. They staggered the players. You can watch all those interviews on the BamaCentral YouTube channel. Let's start with Isaiah Horton.
Nothing. I think really we could just kind of say between all three players, we got maybe one bit of useful information.
That's
one tiny nugget of information across 18 minutes of content.
Yeah, that's why you saw that written on BamaCentral.com.
Oh man, they were not. And look, I totally understand if you are a player, you probably don't have much interest in going out there and answering these questions from people who, a lot of them, don't really know what they watch on the field on Saturdays anyway.
That's my biggest headache.
So I get that it's frustrating. But they were very clearly not in a mood to answer many questions, specifically Bray Hubbard and Isaiah Horton. I wasn't standing over there for Isaiah's. I have watched it since, and then, I heard from the people, and it was just, it was a lot of just kind of, you said it perfectly. I think prickly was the best way to put it. Like, they weren't mean, but just a little short, a little matter of fact, a little just, taking everything at face value, not necessarily working with the reporter to understand their question at all. It was, if you didn't say exactly what you were trying to ask, I will not be answering that question. And that's fine, but that was what it was with those two guys for sure.
Yeah, so Isaiah was up there, and Katie filmed, and so I'm standing in the back, and like, the only thing that I want to know from you, Isaiah Horton, is, are y'all going to run block? Because the run blocking across the board, the offensive line's getting a lot of hell for it, and they should. They absolutely should be. We'll get to that in a second. And the running backs are, well, y'all just aren't as good as Jam Miller. That's not true. That is
the same thing is going to happen when Jam Miller gets
exactly. Unless Jam just like, first 3 guys that hit me are bouncing off me.
I like Jam Miller, but he's not. It's not like you're putting Derrick Henry out there.
Exactly. And so you're not getting good running. You're not getting good running block on the run blocking on the perimeter, and you're not getting good run blocking in the second level. So I asked him about it. Oh, it's just what we got to do. Just what we got to do. Okay. Are you think what's going on with that? Well, we gotta commit to it. Got to commit to it. That's right. And Tony asked him about, well, you're a big body guy. Do you feel like it's a responsibility to, take on that run blocking? And he goes, well, it doesn't matter if I'm a big body guy or not. That's our responsibility. Yeah.
You're not wrong. Sure. We all know that as well, though.
Right. And it just was, it was talking about noise. Somebody asked him about the outside noise level at Alabama versus at Miami. Well, I'm at Alabama now.
I got the sense, and again, wasn't practice. Don't have anything to back this up. This is pure speculation. So let me get that out in front. But I got the sense that maybe Isaiah was picked on at practice a little bit that day.
Maybe so.
Maybe singled out a couple times for, hey, buddy, either you're not blocking, we need you to be blocking, or something. Yeah, I got the same, and honestly, Bray a little bit as well. It seemed like both of those guys just entered in this space of slightly annoyed.
Well, Isaiah, you're going to have a big opportunity. I watched the Georgia-Tennessee game yesterday, and the wide receivers are going to have to be on one because I think the Georgia secondary is a little bit suspect. It's a bit suspect. And so, Isaiah Horton, you're going to have a huge opportunity. Bray Hubbard, you do have a huge opportunity, but you also have a monstrous task. Monstrous. I mean, you make the most of it, you do that task, then we will be giving you flowers for the rest of the year. But, man, Bray was also not really wanting to hear any sort of asked him, both guys, ask Isaiah, well, what'd you do over the last couple of days? They were off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They were off, and they're basically off on Saturday, the no game or whatever. Oh, what are you going to do with your bye week? Or what do you? We're happy to be back here. We're happy to work. Isaiah, did you do anything fun? This is fun. This is fun. Being here is fun. Working is fun. And we asked Bray, like, oh, do you do anything to get yourself like away from football? You can't really get away from football. You can never get away from football. And it's just like, okay, guys, like
winner mentality right there.
Okay. All right. Let's see it.
Yeah, Bray's got a tall task.
Golly.
A tall task ahead of him.
Zachariah Brent.
That was part of why he was a little maybe it wasn't annoyed so much as it's just he's locked in for this week. He doesn't have time for any questions. He's solely focused on ball.
Zachariah Branch, you may see him listed as Zach Branch. After watching the Tennessee game, I might be changing my vote from Gunnar Stockton's legs to Zach Branch.
He's pretty dang good. Pretty good player.
Yes, and they went to him on a 4th and 1 where he got a slant over the middle. He ended up having a screen pass for a touchdown. He's just deadly fast.
I feel very good about Alabama's corners and their ability to turn guys inside, though. I'm not really as worried about getting beat to the outside or anything like that. I think Zabian does a good job. I think Damani does a good job. There's a little bit of concern maybe with actually finishing the play once those guys do get turned inside. Yes. But I don't know, or I don't think at least that we have to worry as much about getting beat around the edge. It's going to be linebackers going to have to help a little bit. The safeties are obviously going to have to be helping. But I feel good about the corner play. I think through the first 3 games, the last 2 games, not really the first one at all. But the corners have done a good job of keeping things in front of them and turning guys back in to the heart of the defense.
Yeah, so I think the Georgia offense looks pretty deadly. So that's probably why Bray was no days off mentality, no off time.
He's just been watching film,
knowing that you need to bring your rear end when you come tackle these fellas.
He goes out into the woods in his little hunting stand.
That's what we need to do.
He just sits out there in the silence and watches film.
That's what we need to do the next time we have Bray is just ask him a bunch of hunting questions. Hey, Bray, what if you had to pick hog, deer, turkey.
When they play Arkansas, that's when you can ask him.
Yeah, hog, deer, turkey, whatever. Duck. Is he a duck hunter? You maybe quail.
Who knows?
Who knows? What's your favorite? What's your favorite season? What's your favorite hunting season? And then you start getting into, well, how early do you get up and talk us through your hunting routine, that sort of thing. I bet you he'd open up.
No, I mean they all have personalities. They just don't let us see many of it. Don't let us see much of it. They're all people.
They are for now.
Yeah, until they drop a pass or miss a tackle, and then a lot of people try to.
Son of a!
Yeah, a lot of people forget that those are people out there, but.
That 19-year-old kid should be perfect.
That's one of the most important things to remember with college sports. And we were kind of talking about it yesterday. I was talking about it with Katie a little bit, how it is a bit harder now to remember that when these kids are multimillionaires, so many of them, it's harder to remember hey, they're just kids. But man, you do have to just remember, regardless of whatever that NIL valuation that On3 throws on this kid, he is a kid, and kids do dumb things. Kids do things that make you upset. But they learn from it, and it's just part of life.
So let's move to Caden Proctor. I think Caden Proctor gave you the most information.
A little bit we got.
Right. I think he gave you the most information that we could find.
Yeah. And I thought it was useful, though.
Yes. Before we get to the information, we didn't write the cutesy story, but he did have a cutesy angle that I wish, if we had what would we be? What's the style of writer? What's the lifestyle, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we had a lifestyle writer, they would be writing this column of what Caden Proctor's doing to lose weight. He talked about have you ever been to Hot Walks?
Oh, yeah.
Hot Works Express.
I've heard of it.
Used to be the old bento above the Voodoo Wings across the street from Waffle House and Glory Bound. He said that he and Cam Dewberry are going to Hot Works to ride the bicycle in 130-degree rooms. He said I'm down 20, 25 pounds now. And so
maybe it needs to be. Might be good for him. Maybe lose 20 more.
Did you hear my follow-up?
I'm not sure if I did.
Well, what are you clocking in at? What are you weighing in at now?
Let me guess. He's 365.
Oh my God, you did watch it.
Is that really right? Wow.
He said 63 or 65.
That's too big.
And you perfect. Yes. Now do the math. Add 20 pounds to that.
Man was pushing 400 pounds.
What?
No wonder he can't move. Come on. Why do you think? What was the fifth round? The undrafted fifth round was 7th round. A kid from Florida,
right,
for the Bucks that is now cut because he couldn't lose the weight in time to play.
Right.
That's what happened. There's a line. I get that we want the biggest and the baddest MFers out there, but there's a line where once you cross it, you're too dang big to move around.
No,
he needs to be 320.
345 is good. 352 is good. He needs another 10 pounds. I'm not even trying to be body shame or being a jerk.
He looks great,
but you go watch the Wisconsin film again. The last half of the game, and yes, it's my pet peeve, but the mouthpiece is hanging out the whole dang second half, and that's where he gets his minuses in the second half.
Gas.
Exactly. You're tired.
Yeah.
You're tired. You're not staying.
The man is doing a near 400-pound squat every play when he gets into his stance. He is completely gassed by the end of the game. Yeah, no, you're exactly right.
Give yourself a chance.
Yeah. Why do you think that NFL linemen all across the league in the last 2 years or so so many of them have trimmed down from being that 350 plus to now in that 330 to 40 range. JC Latham is a perfect example. Obviously, a little close to me because I'm a Titans fan. But you look at him now, man, the guy almost looks like a defensive end or a tight end or something. It's crazy. The body type has changed so much for what you need to be an elite, offensive lineman. It is not just about being the biggest guy. You have to be able to move. You have to be able to have that athleticism. And I think Caden Proctor does have it. He's just too big.
AI just now is telling me the average NFL offensive lineman is approximately 6'5" and 315 pounds. While these are general averages, specific dimensions vary by position, blah, 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 blah. 315. Let's just say that AI is messed up and the average is 325. My man, Caden, like I think you have all the potential.
Penei Sewell plays at 3:30 is what it says here. What he's listed as. So like that's perfect. I think that's comparable.
Like, I need you to get down.
Proctor's even taller than Sewell. Probably.
Right. I need you to get down to 348. Like,
yeah. Get that. Yeah. They got him too big. Is this a?
This is a product of being out in the spring. This is a product of not being fully available in spring practice. And while the advantage was that Alabama got to develop some left tackles and see Jackson Lloyd and see Olasa Lennon and see
all these guys.
Michael Carroll play left tackle in the spring. Well, Caden Proctor just sat on the sidelines. Munch, not really. And I'm sure Balloon had him doing stuff. Like he wasn't just sitting there eating pizza.
What I was like, wonder, like, is this a philosophy of the staff kind of thing where, hey, we want our offensive linemen this big, or is it a Proctor specific thing? Because, I don't know. We haven't talked to Cam Dewberry about it. He hasn't told us, exactly what he's weighing these days. But like, me and you talked off the show about it after that week 1 game. And like, I noticed, I was like, hey, Dewberry, he doesn't look quite as built and, trim and athletic as maybe you should to be a starting, a member of the starting 5. He looked a little doughy out there sometimes. And I just wonder if it's something the staff has brought with them of, hey, we want you to get big and get, I don't know. It's interesting. I think they are too big right now. A lot of them.
So he's doing Hot Works Express to go up there, ride a bicycle. He said,
that seems like an awfully strategic choice of location.
Because of all the pretty girls,
because of all of the women that probably go with him. Yes,
right. That's probably not inaccurate. They got the hot yoga probably in one room.
And I bet if he really wanted to, somebody at Malmore could get that set up there for him.
Right. maybe that was a plug for his NIL deal.
Maybe. We'll see the Instagram post this week.
Right. If I say Hot Works Express in my press conference, you'll give me a couple of weeks of free lesson.
That's what we're trending toward. We'll get there eventually.
Right. That's right. So that's what he said me and Dewberry are over there
I'm glad it's
in the
them
evenings.
Too. I think because those are the two that have been the most noticeably, seemingly out of shape. I'm out of shape myself. I don't want to speak ill on those guys, but they're Division I high-level athletes who are expected to be in the top of their game.
Right. Can't we get you to 348?
That's all you need.
Like,
you can drop down a little more probably when you get to the NFL. I'm sure they'll have you on some other specific diet plan and things, but hey, we need you just 10 more, 15 more. You'd be good. Just needs to be a little lighter on their feet.
Right.
Just it just for it to be such an obvious issue, the tripping over each other and the I don't know.
No power.
Like some of those guys have
power
lead in their feet sometimes.
Right. You're not getting low into your hips because you can't.
You're tired. Man, you wore out.
All right. So what the real piece of news that we actually wrote was the fact that a couple of times we asked him about the offensive line rotation, and a couple of times he mentioned wanting to find the right 5, and he emphasized that's not my job. That's Coach DeBoer, that's Coach Cap, that's Coach Grubb's job to decide on who the right 5 are. I love everybody that I play with. He tried to play as positive and neutral as possible while answering the question.
He also does have the luxury of knowing he is a member of the right 5.
Right. Good. I said, y'all played 7 different offensive line combos. You were a part of 6 of them.
Yeah.
And the 7th was the last drive of the game where Jackson Lloyd came in. Like, Jackson's not taking that job right now.
No.
And so he was, I love everybody that plays on the line. But, man, do you think that this coming Saturday, next Saturday, the 27th, that Alabama's going to play 5 and keep 5 in there?
I do not. I think you're going to see Wilkenform start the game again. And I think he might go 2 drives, and then you'll get Michael Carroll in there at right tackle, depending on how those 2 drives go. And from that point, you might stick with it, I think, for the rest of the game. But I think they're going to throw Wilken back out there.
Is Jaden starting at right guard?
I mean, that's, again, there might be the same kind of deal, throw him out there because we need, hasn't looked great. Throw him out there, see what you got the first couple drives. If it's good, you keep him in there. If it's not, all right, let's try you again, Gino. What you got, buddy?
I just don't think that you're
going to love that.
I don't think you're going to have the luxury of tanking 2 drives. Not to say that it's automatically going to be you're punting the ball or you're turning it over or whatever the case may be, but
you need
from
points
what
in that game.
What I see against Georgia, their offense is so multiple and versatile, and I really like Mike Bobo. I think that he's going to be able to attack this Alabama defense pretty effectively. I think Ty Simpson is going to have to go bar for bar with Gunnar Stockton.
How do you think, because you watched it a little closer than I probably did. I was watching it on TV on Saturday when it happened, kind of in and out. So you watched the more in-depth view of that game, that Georgia-Tennessee game. How does Alabama's defense stack up with Tennessee's?
Not as good.
See, that's not great.
Not as good up front. Not as good up front. But what I think is that Kane Womack's going to mix up the back end a lot more. I think, was it Tim Banks? Is that the Tennessee defensive coordinator?
Vandy, isn't it?
Tennessee defensive coordinator is Tim Banks.
Beck is who I'm thinking of at Vandy, I think.
So Tim Banks is Tennessee's defensive coordinator, and the fella just stays in man coverage the whole time. And I think that that's what gave Gunnar Stockton a little bit like, you watch the first two games of Gunnar and you see a guy who, you're not really reading the field. You're not really reading the defense. You're swing pass out. You're watching number one, tucking and running. You're watching number one. You might get to number two. You're tucking and running. And like, you're getting a lot of the Ty Simpson from the first week against Florida State, where the first guy's not there, or maybe I'm late to my window and, oh, crap, I'm going to run for 6-7 yards. And everybody's going to say, look how hard he's playing. He's so great, so athletic.
He's trying so hard.
Right, but and it's not an overall negative, but it's also not what a quarterback's supposed to be doing.
It could be a lot better.
Right, and so, but against Tennessee, Gunnar Stockton had clear growth from 1 to 2 to 3. Now, week 2, it was a whole lot more, hey, we're just going to swing past this out. We're just going to hit a little short hitch to Kobe Young.
To get his confidence back.
Right, we're just going to do all this underneath stuff, first read, first hitch. You're not going to have to sit back there. And plus, Austin Peay is not good. And so, it was there pretty much consistently. Yeah. Hey, man, Kobe Young's going to run a 6-yard hitch. You just got to hit the back of your drop and rip it over there. Right, exactly. Zachariah Branch is running a little swing pass. You just got to flip it out to him. Against Tennessee, there was a little bit more reading of the field, hanging in the pocket. But I also think that Tim Banks wasn't mixing up the coverages. I don't think you were going, well, we're going to throw cover 2. Now we're going to go throw cover 3. Now we're going to go man. Now we're going to go cover 2 man. Now we're going to go it was a whole lot. I think on the throw, the 4th and 7, 4th and 6 or whatever, or the last play that ultimately had Georgia tie the game. I think Gunnar Stockton came to the line and says, man coverage, slot fade. And it was I think when he's confident, when he knows what the look is, good quarterback, can deliver the football. And so, right, a bit. And I think he's good enough to, shoot, I didn't get that one right. I'm not going to throw it into a big old mess. I'll just tuck it and get myself 6 yards. And he's good, a good little athlete.
Fight another day.
Right. And so that's there's a lot to like about Gunnar Stockton, a lot to like about him. But is he elite? I'm not quite sure yet. I think that if you're Kane Womack, you're seeing that game and you're like, well, we just going to need to do coverage roulette. We're just going to roll.
That'd be great.
Roll the bingo wheel.
I think even on the broadcast during that Tennessee Georgia game, I do feel like I don't remember who was calling it now, but one of the two mentioning that Tennessee is just refusing to get out of that coverage.
Right.
And it's like, if it's going to be there, you're going to take that shot all day because it's there. And that's all Georgia did was the opportunity was there. We're going to take this shot.
And I think some of that is to do with the run game. It was to do with Georgia's run game is to, we want to get everybody kind of keep the safeties kind of narrowed in. And so I think
it's like Tennessee's whole thing, isn't it? Run the run and get everybody in the box. And then as soon as you're down in, we're going to throw it over the top.
Right. So I don't think that Tim Banks called a great game. And I think that Gunnar Stockton took advantage of that and his confidence grew throughout the game. I mean, even the 2-point play. The 2-point play, you motion, branch in, and he runs just a little whip route off motion. Well, the corner follows him in and sucks into the whip, and he gets whipped out, and Zachariah Branch is wide open. And so it's like, all you got to do is hit the wide open guy, Gunnar, because your receiver beat man coverage. I do think you're going to see man coverage from Alabama, but
I feel confident in Alabama's corners to be able to do that
a bit. But Georgia's corners are highly rated recruits.
Sure.
Ellis Robinson, you're highly rated recruit. Dalen Everett, highly rated recruit. But I think if you're Kane Womack, we're going to throw every coverage we got into this bingo wheel. And you know how the bingo wheel just turns. Up, cover one, up, cover three, up, cover three trap,
I mean, given like what you kind of laid out about Gunnar Stockton, that sounds like a pretty good way to get in his head and maybe confuse him a bit.
And if I were Coach Womack, I'd say, hey, man, we're playing the same shell all night long. And so every time you go to the line, it looks like whatever you think it looks like.
Sure.
And then, oh, snap, it's actually this. It's actually that.
You worry that they'll get into a bit of an issue like they did in Florida State, where it's just almost asking guys to have too many responsibilities on any given play. It seemed like, and maybe that was mostly just with the linebackers. It felt like, a lot of those guys, like as soon as this ball snapped, I'm running 10 yards back to drop into this coverage zone. It's like, what are we doing? I
worry about tackling on the edge with this defense. That's what I worry about. I worry about we're going to throw screen passes out to Zachariah Branch.
It's like, hey, buddy, you've got to cover that screen. You've also got to cover the flat. Oh, don't forget, if they throw a curl here, that's on you as well. Oh, wait, also, they might just run the ball, and then you got to crash into the line.
Yeah, yeah. I worry about the individual plays making individual players making individual plays.
That was one thing that Bray hammered a lot during his press conference yesterday was, and this is going back to the years of Nick Saban, just do your job. And I think even, what was it? It was maybe 2 weeks ago now. It was Marlon Humphrey for the Ravens saying the same thing in some press conference of like, we've got guys out here that are trying to make plays when you need to just be doing your job. Because when you do your job, the plays come to you. And that's what Bray said yesterday. Is somebody asked me about the 2 interceptions, and he was like, I didn't do anything different. I just did my job, and the plays came to me. And it's just the way it goes. As long as every, each 11 members of the defense, as long as everybody does what they have to do, you're going to stop the offense.
Going back at a commenter on YouTube, Proctor needs to drop 30 pounds. I mean, maybe.
I don't think that guy's totally wrong. I would not. I mean,
can we just start with 10?
Sure. I think we can start with 10. Get him down to that, right around 350, maybe a little bit less, between 340, 350.
I can't believe he revealed that. I cannot believe. Well, because we asked, what are you doing with your going to Hot Works with Cam Dewberry? Oh, cool. What's the? Well, we go ride the bike, 130 degrees. Somebody asks, oh, how many miles do you go? We don't go for miles. You go minutes, so 15 minutes. Oh, you sweating a lot? Well, yeah, we've lost like 20 pounds. And I said, well, what do you clock? It was 63, 64. I'm like, mother load. You were clocking. You're wanting to tell me you're clocking in at 383?
And that tells me, too, that like that's what Texas A&M is doing over there as well with Cam Dewberry. He just showed up, and it was like, I mean, and that was, I think, a little bit of what we maybe heard about him was just the work ethic was so different from what he had at Texas A&M to what it is here. I think he's gotten used to it now, probably, but too big.
So all this is
we're trying to make it people too big.
The offensive line has to figure out running the football to this end. If you're going to ask Ty Simpson to go bar for bar with Gunnar Stockton, who has really good weapons, just like Alabama.
Yep.
Alabama's got really good weapons. I don't have you put them on a scale, they're balanced. They're even. You might like Zach Branch better. You might like Ryan Williams better. That's personal preference. But right now, the Georgia running game is a lot more effective than the Alabama running game. And so Gunnar Stockton, you're operating in, well, if you miss this, you could turn around to Nate Frazier and he can get 6 yards, 7 yards. And if you want to, like they're using Gunnar Stockton a lot in short yardage situations for, I'm going to read you, you're going to crash down on Frazier, I'll pull it out and get ourselves 5-6 yards. We got a first down. They went 4th and short against
nickel and dime you to death.
Right. They went 4th and short with Marshall, and it was straight up speed option. Gunnar Stockton keeps it, got himself 6 yards. Like, he's good enough to run, not going to be like.
He's not going to break an 80-yard touchdown run, but he's good enough to get a first down.
So will the Alabama offensive line take any pressure off Ty Simpson, or will Ty Simpson have to throw the ball 43 bleeping times like he did against Florida State?
I hope not.
Because if you do, you're not keeping up.
Yeah, I don't believe that. I like Ty Simpson. I like what he's done this year. I don't think that he's a quarterback that you want throwing the ball 45 times a game.
I like his limit at
35.
33, 35. Yeah, I do.
And that's like the high end. That's a big passing day. That's a big passing day for Ty.
What was he with Wisconsin? 20-something to Wisconsin.
That sounds right.
27, I think is what it was. 24,
21
27.
to 27 or something. 24, is that right?
Let's find. It is Ty Simpson. Nope, 24, 29. So
okay. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good spot to be.
With 15 running back carries, 15 touches for the running backs. Ty took 6 carries and Jeremy took 1. So you had 7 other. You ran the ball 15 and 7 is 22 times.
Need more than that.
Come on, coach. We gotta.
Yeah, we're gonna have to at least balance those out.
But it starts up front.
Yeah. I mean, you can't. Season, it was a culmination of a lot of issues. I think Jalen Milroe struggled to read things on read option plays. I think the offensive line struggled to get push up front. I think the running backs weren't exactly the greatest, but it led to not being able to run the ball and then being able to rely. You're forced to rely on Jalen Milroe's arm, and you can't just create a running game out of thin air. If it's not there, it's not there. So you don't want to be forced to pass the ball, but if your offensive line gets no push, it is what it is.
So 8 days out from this game, I'm not feeling good about it. I'll just tell you that.
I feel decent about it being a close game. That's about all I'll say. I don't feel good that Alabama wins this game right now, but I think they definitely can keep it to be a respectable loss if they do lose.
I'm feeling like it's 10 points at this point.
I think I'm a little bit closer to, a one score, maybe a field goal game.
31-21, maybe 31-24 is kind of how I'm feeling right now. Because I just don't see.
This also just be a day where is this just going to be a day where both offenses look like garbage, isn't it? Just a gross game. I just feel like all we're doing is talking about the offenses just for them to prove us wrong, and this is the time the defenses show up. Maybe I'm crazy. I would not like to see that because I think Georgia's defense is probably better.
Right, Alabama's cracks first.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. My confidence level is like a solid 6.5 out of 10.
2.
I'm higher than that. I'm over 50% that they can win. I
think they can't win for sure. Right. I think you say, Joe, can they win? Yes, they can win. Are they going to? 2 out of 10.
I don't think I'm that low.
We'll see.
Probably 50-50.
I'll watch Georgia Tennessee again the next couple days, over the next few days, and maybe I just think Tennessee is good. I think the Ty is on par with Joey Aguilar and Gaither Stockton. I think he's in that camp, but you don't have a running game.
Yeah,
and Tennessee, watching Georgia these 3 weeks, Marshall ended up having some running success, not a ton, but when they turned to it, it was fine enough, and then. So did Austin Peay, and so did Tennessee. Had some success on the ground against Georgia. Let's see if I can.
Defense is soft. Alabama will be fine.
Right, Georgia's defense is suspect to me. It's not the same. It's not the same defense. It's not like, oh man, you're never getting a yard against this defense. Let's see.
Yeah, I mean, it's not Jalen Carter out there,
Again, Marshall ended up rushing for 78 yards, which is good for Marshall. Honestly,
sure.
That's not an elite number. Okay, Austin Peay 45 yards. But you also had some sacks in there that threw that off. Tennessee, what did you rush for? Tennessee rushed for 198 yards.
Yeah, I don't think Alabama's getting that. But I think, what do you think is the number? 140? 135? I mean, you can't put there's not going to be if Alabama reaches this rushing yards, they win. But I'd feel, if you showed me a box score without of just stat sheets, no like actual game score, and you said Alabama had 135 yards rushing, I'd say there's a pretty good chance they won that game.
Yeah, I think if I'm Ryan Grubb, I'm looking for 155. I think that's what I want to generate.
How do you think they're splitting it up this week? How much do we even really see Jam?
5 carries.
Yeah, people are acting like he's about to come save the offense.
No,
he's not. I don't even know that we'll see him that much this week. they seem to feel pretty good about what they have with Kevin Riley.
I mean, look at the rushing dispersion over the last half. Like even Kevin Riley,
what he gets 7,
right? Exactly,
7 to Daniel Hill's 5,
right? And Richard Young's 4.
Yeah.
Like everybody's getting like 3 touches a game, and it's not even enough to get any sort of rhythm. He went 5 carries with Florida State. Kevin Riley 5 with Florida State. ULM 11. Wisconsin 7.
This needs to be the game, I think, where you pick one running back at the beginning of the game and you say, hey, buddy, you're getting at least 15 a day. We got to get you in a rhythm, get you going. I'd like to see it be Daniel Hill, personally, because I think he's maybe a bit more punishing to the defense physically. But Kevin Riley's great also.
Yeah, Daniel Hill's not able to squirt through the tiny ass holes that's going on.
And I'll be honest, I was not, like he only got 4 or 5 carries last week. So, not a huge sample size, but he didn't really run that hard. He's kind of getting,
because he's picking, looking for a hole.
I mean, yeah, it does all start up front, but he was not. I don't know. It looked like Derrick Henry before he figured out how to be good in the NFL. You know what I mean? Where it was like it's just you're a big guy, but people are just kind of mowing you down because you're not really using your size to your advantage.
So. Going to be a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun yesterday in the Mount Moore Athletic Facility, even if the players didn't really want us to be there. Caden Proctor was revealing.
I'm thankful for that nugget of information he shared with us about the and they still have not found the right 5 offensive linemen. They're still rotating a lot of guys, in and out. I don't love what that says about the football team, but I'm glad he shared that with us.
Yeah, so let's take a quick break. I'll remind everybody about Derek Daniels State Farm Insurance, and we'll come back and talk about the games that are going on this weekend. No Alabama game this weekend, but there are several other games to talk about. Before we talk about them, though, we want to remind you we are live in the Derek Daniels State Farm Studios. You can call Derek for all of your insurance needs at 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there. Call and see how much he can save you today. He saved our man Theo a bunch of money. He helped me with my homeowners problems that we had at the end of the summer. So he's really, really going to be there for you. Call him at 205-758-3391. A local agent is so important, especially with what I talked about. I had a problem at my house at the end of the summer. He had me with the right phone numbers, the right repairmen, the right we got back online so fast. And so I really appreciate it, not just online on the internet, online with power, online with AC, online with with repair work. So he really took care of me, and he will take care of you. So call him today at 205-758-3391 for your home insurance needs, your life insurance needs, your auto insurance needs. It's crazy driving around the Tuscaloosa, West Alabama area. And really, you don't have to be in West Alabama. It can be the whole state of Alabama that he can take care of you in. So 205-758-3391. Like a good neighbor, Derek Daniel is there.
You need length and girth in this league.
One thing before we get into this slate of games this weekend, have you seen the 58-year-old freshman defensive lineman? Surely you have.
I hate these things.
I do too. I think it's dumb.
The band player at LSU.
But this is one of the
football player.
This is from a real, this Front Office Sports. I'm sure many of you are familiar with Front Office Sports. Pretty well-known publication, This is a tweet from them. Division III Lycoming College has 58-year-old freshman defensive lineman. In the 1980s, Tom Sillo quit high school football to do drugs.
Yes.
What does that even mean? That is the most
It means he quit school to do meth, Mason. It's very clear.
At least show a little more decorum for the man.
He quit high school to do heroin.
Come on, people. That's crazy.
It's very clear he gave up his life to do heroin.
It was such a black and white thing. That's the only thing that went into that decision. Just ridiculous from Front Office Sports. I don't even know. It's just the tweet accompanying.
He wanted to smoke PCP and not contribute to society.
Don't even have a link to any story or anything. But I just couldn't get over that. 6 foot, 227-pound freshman defensive lineman.
He decided, I'm done with school. I am just wrecking my body.
Would you go play D3 football?
No. No.
I might for one play.
Right, but you don't get to just go strap it up for one play. You got to go through fall camp. You got to go to summer workout.
That's okay. I get there and then game day. All right, coach, I'm done. One play, I'm out. See y'all. Hey, I'll Antonio Brown it. Take my shirt off.
He's like, man, we were counting on you. We got 12 games left.
I got my taste. Thanks, coach. I'm hurt for the rest of my life.
Yeah, at 58 years old, I am hurt for the rest of my life.
I think I'd be hurt for the rest of my life if I stepped on a football field now.
What if I gave you 12 months to get ready for it?
Ooh, it'd still be tough.
Next fall, Mason Woods walking on.
I watch a lot of high school football nowadays with covering recruiting. I don't know that I'd want to get out there with those kids, let alone the Division III football.
I think about when I played high school football, and I'm like, I'm not big by any means, but I wasn't like the tiniest person ever. And then I'll go to these games and I'll think, mother, how did y'all get so big?
It's crazy.
How did y'all get so tall?
All the hormones in the chicken nugget.
GMO, HMO, whatever.
Because that same thing. I'm not a big guy now, not a very tall guy. I was one of the bigger players on our high school football team. And, to think about it now, it's like, I get dwarfed by some of these kids that I watch, their huddle tapes and things, it's 6'6", 300 pounds. It's like, what?
Like, I'll go out to Hillcrest tonight, and they obviously it is 7A, Region 3.
Their whole offensive line will be taller than me.
By like 3 heads.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you're 16? You're a sophomore?
Yeah, I just got out of math class.
Like, oh my Lord. And the running backs are all like bigger than me too.
Yeah, running backs are all, 5'10", 5'11", 205 or something.
It's like I'm standing over there by the freshmen, and they're all like, well, we're just waiting on our growth spurt. It'll come, Billy. It'll come, Billy, and you'll be taller than me.
Yeah, it is
no,
crazy.
I'm not playing Division III football.
No, I don't know that I would either. You'd have to pay me a lot of money. I'd have to have a pretty lucrative NIL deal.
And to think, you're writing that story. He dropped out of school to do what? Can I write that? Yeah, he said he just left school to do that.
Man, I don't know. Don't look into it.
Right.
He said it. Man. We'll roll with it.
Right. What? That's wild.
Yeah, no.
Dropped out of school to do
I can
drugs.
guarantee you nothing else went into that decision. Like, it's ridiculous. But yeah, no, I mean, good on him, I guess. Hey, man, you had your dream and you are fulfilling it in this weird roundabout way. I wonder what his family thinks about it. I bet his wife's pissed.
He does not have a wife.
Yeah, you're probably right. You're probably right.
He's divorced or never married.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're not making that decision. You are not making that decision with
I came home and I'm 26. Like I am not 58 years old. But if I came home and I told Melissa, hey, here's this flyer. I'm joining a rec league, like tackle football. She would laugh in my face and probably walk out the door.
She would laugh in your face and be like, let me know when your first game is. Because I'm coming to laugh some more.
Like, come on. We've seen it, the rise of the UNC football you see now on TikTok and things.
The under 40 leagues.
Yeah, oh man, they're crazy.
You are not a smart person if you are under 40 and you're strapping up against other 35-year-olds.
No.
Like,
you know what we need to do? We need to just go like international and play like international football with the people that don't even know how to play. We could dominate there. You go to like
for a couple minutes.
Yeah, until they learn. Once they learn the rules, we're probably cooked. But like I've watched a little bit of the Boston College has a kid this year from the NFL Academy in London who's committed to their team. The offensive lineman, he's like 6'7". He's a tackle, but he's 6'7", like 270 pounds. Like kid is thin as a rail to be 6'7". But he's a monster over there in Germany or in London where he play. They're playing when they play the fellow low level international teams. They beat up on them, but they played one high school team out of Florida, and that team hung like 60 on them. It was like 60-6. I think I checked the score.
More peanut butter sandwiches, sir.
Yeah, they need to bulk them up a little bit.
All right, so you guys are all probably doing your honey-do list this weekend because you haven't done them for the last 3 weeks because you've been watching Alabama football Roll Tide. Yeah, but the grass needs to be cut. The weed eating needs to happen. You need to take the trash out. Maybe need to clean the gutters. Whatever you need to do. But in between your honey-do lists, you've got some football, some decent football this week, not involving the Crimson Tide. Last night, Rice and Rice beat Charlotte on whatever ESPN, and but I was watching Tua. Tua hung in there. And then
he did.
Then threw a bad interception. That Kurt Warner is putting on a wide receiver.
Kurt Warner's done that a lot this season. Do you follow him on Twitter?
Yes, I do.
He's
Because
made a point of
every
doing
time
that.
that Caleb Williams plays, he says he played good, and I say yes, he did, Kurt.
Yeah, he loves doing that. He is a friend of the quarterback.
They're all friends with each other.
Yeah.
They're all, well, it's not really his fault. It's so and so's fault.
Yeah, he's a big fan of well, how could you even know it's his fault? You don't know what the play call was.
Exactly.
I watched it with my own eyes, Kurt. Tua threw the ball to the DB like it was his own receiver.
Staring at Jalen Waddle. And
then Tua struggled. Like you said, he fought last night. He bounced back a little bit, but that the fumbled snap on the 3rd and 5, where it just looked like he was nervous. It was terrible. Yeah, he's struggling. Things are not good in Miami.
That's okay. Miami, Chicago, and New Orleans all racing to the bottom. We're going to get there first. We're getting there first, and hopefully Ben Johnson supplants.
You draft another quarterback.
No. We're going to draft Ruben Bain. That's who I want. Miami defensive end, Ruben Bain. Because there's no left tackle that I want at number 1.
People seem to be high on I think I've heard a kid out of Utah. Everybody's pretty excited.
We don't want to do that.
Yeah, I think
we want somebody playing high-level football.
I think Georgia has 1 or 2 guys that are maybe somewhat in that conversation for being a high-level pick at some point, but I don't know if it's this year. Yeah, it seems like, and again, I'm not super plugged in. I haven't really, I'll get plugged into the draft once we hit the new year probably. That's when I'll really start focusing on it. But
are we racing with y'all to the bottom? With Tennessee?
Maybe you might be. I mean, you will see. If you are, I hope that there's a tackle up there that they can draft.
Y'all can have the tackle. We want the edge rusher.
They need that. Titans need that too. Unfortunately, they need a lot of things. They, a high level wide receiver would be really good. Which
we got plenty of those.
Look, Alec Minor looks pretty good throughout last week.
Y'all want DJ Moore for a 2nd round pick?
I would love DJ Moore.
Yeah, let's do that real quick.
I can't take DJ Moore on this team. He ain't gonna do nothing. Can't block for him.
No, he's gonna complain that he's not getting the ball because that's what he's doing in Chicago. I'm not the number 1 read. Roma Dunze, number 1 read.
You telling me the guy that's 6'3" that caught 80% of his contested passes in college is the number 1 guy? That's crazy.
Yeah, DJ Moore, bad attitude. So tonight on ESPN, you guys who are not joining us at Hillcrest High School will be probably watching Tulsa and Oklahoma State.
I hope you're not watching that for your sake.
Yeah, 7 o'clock on Fox, Iowa and Rutgers. So two games are on television. We'll say that. There are 2 football games on television tonight on the 2 major channels, Fox and ESPN, 6:30 and 7 o'clock. Moving on, though, let's try to find some good games on Saturday. 11 a.m., Texas Tech, Utah, a little ranked matchup in the Big 12. Utah 3.5-point home favorites. Go
Utah sneaky good this year. I don't know a ton about them.
I don't know anything about either team other than Texas Tech is rich as bleeding.
Yeah, I'm gonna ride with Utah just because I don't like what Texas Tech is doing.
There you go. Arkansas, Memphis. Did you see the Memphis coach throwing shade at Georgia?
No.
Memphis coach this past week was talking about doing things. We follow the standard. We follow. The standard is being here on time. The standard isn't driving 900 miles an hour.
Love that.
Just a little dig down to Georgia.
That is such a wild thing that
the standard is following the rules on the road.
Everybody's mad about it for 24 hours, and then we just go right back to being like, oh, everything's fine in Athens, Georgia. They are maybe they're not the worst, but seemingly they are the worst team by a wide margin in college football with those issues.
Why is Arkansas playing at Memphis?
Is that one of those weird 2-for-1s?
Is it a 2-for-1? That's what I'm about to try to find out. Arkansas
Saban hates those, he said a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and he
I don't blame him. He had a pretty bad experience with the one going down to South Florida. That was a tough day for the Crimson Tide.
Arkansas's home game in 26, they're moving the Memphis home game to the 2030 season. Okay, I don't understand that, but they do have a little contract. We're going to take Woo Pig Sooie to keep their things going. They're a 7.5-point favorite.
I like this Arkansas team. They're good.
Wisconsin is a 9.5-point home favorite over Maryland, who's 3-0. How bad is Maryland? Oh my Lord!
I don't know anything about Maryland.
I don't either.
Mike Loxley's still there,
but that line just jumps out at me. Maryland's beaten FAU 39-7, has beaten Northern Illinois 20-9, and beat the mighty Towson 44-17. So they've beaten no one. Yes, Wisconsin is not a good football team. Clemson trying to get back on track. They're hosting Syracuse. 16.5. Dabo's press conference was an hour. was an hour. Like,
I know we complain about not getting much from these folks, but that's too much.
Alex Thompson, thank you, sir. The Alabama, if you don't know that name, he is the SID for Alabama football. Thank you, like, for limiting it to about 15 minutes. Like, sometimes it's 15, sometimes it's 9. After the Florida State loss, it was 17, 18 minutes. Like, okay, we win a couple of more minutes, an extra question, understandable. Thank you for not letting the coach talk for an hour.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Insanity. Absolute
Just
insanity.
went on and on and
Absolute
on and on.
insanity. So great job, Alex, for understanding the assignment. You got SMU, TCU. TCU a 6.5-point home favorite. You got a little Dallas regional, little city rivalry right there.
SMU's pretty bad from the one partial game that I watched this year, so I'll ride with TCU in that one.
They're not going back to the playoffs.
No,
I guess not.
I don't believe they will be. I don't think so.
Name your score. UAB at Tennessee. Tennessee 38.5-point favorite. 11:45 on SEC Network. I'm going 60. I'm going 70. I'm going 70 to 10.
I'm gonna go 76-6.
Ugh.
I would love to see Tennessee hang 80, just because I think it'd be funny to see college football score in the 80s, but I doubt they'll do it.
Oregon State on Big Ten Network. If you've got extra money and if you're subscribed to the Big Ten Network, you're a degenerate.
That is crazy. Oregon might hang 100 in that game as well.
34.5-point favorites. Yeah. Okay, here's the first real good game outside of that Utah game. Is 2:30 on ABC. Auburn, number 22 Auburn is at number 11 Oklahoma. Oklahoma is 7.5-point home favorite. We're gonna really find out what Jackson Arnold and John Mateer are about right here.
I think I like Oklahoma to win, and I like Oklahoma to cover.
Oklahoma, where the wind goes sweeping o'er the plains.
I think this is the beginning of John Mateer starting to actually bolster some bit of Heisman campaign. I think
his stock went from like mid pack to top 10 very fast, top 5 very
Folks
fast.
Seem to be very Oklahoma quarterback. It's everybody loves it. People are very very quick to give Oklahoma quarterback the flowers. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong, he's been great. But I still don't think that he has necessarily separated himself from, the other top guys in the SEC. But he has the opportunity to maybe start doing that this week, and I think he does.
We're gonna find out about Jackson Arnold this week.
Yeah,
we're gonna find out if this is real or not.
I mean, what do you think because it's not like things went over. It's not like things went that great for Oklahoma last year with him. So, like, how mad are they that he's not there anymore?
Not?
Yeah. I mean,
especially since they replaced him with somebody fairly good. Like, if they had replaced him with me, they'd be like, "Whoa, you left us with Joe Gaither, who can't play quarterback at all."
How many, right up the end of the whistle, forearms are we going to see into Jackson Arnold's head? Kind of, putting your body weight on him to stand up, stuff like that.
I don't think
that's what I'll be watching for, because I don't think we will either.
I don't think any. I think what you'll see is a lot of dismissive trash talk. A
lot of we know what he's about, and it's not very good.
Right. You SOB. You soft SOB. Yeah. You soft this. You quitter that. Not that he's a quitter, but like I think they'll throw a lot of dismissive trash talk at him. Not aggressive trash talk like rah 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 rah. We hate you, but why would we even care that you went over there, kind of thing. Okay, so I'm gonna go Oklahoma, and I'll take Oklahoma by 10.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at as well.
Tulane is at Ole Miss. That's going to be interesting. Ole Miss is going to take care of them. They're 13.5-point favorite.
But it'll be close for a while.
Lane's been doing we better be ready. The Tulane coach is going to be coaching in the SEC next year. Great program.
This feels like hey, we're sitting here halfway through the third, and it's 21-17, but then we're going to finish, and it's 38-17.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, we're going to keep spinning. 2:30, 3 o'clock, 3:30, Idaho, San Jose State at 4. Not on TV at all. It's great when they don't have a TV network listed next. Okay, here we go. Oh,
West Virginia, Kansas, sneaky game.
How you like 6 o'clock on ESPN? South Carolina, Missouri. Can we just get Shane Beamer and Eli Drinkwitz locked in a cage at the 50-yard line?
I will be watching this game solely for the post-game interaction between those two coaches at midfield. I hope to see what unfolds.
Eli,
Take a swing.
Eli, this is your time, man. This is your time they just lost to Vanderbilt. Double down on them. It's Missouri is a 9.5-point home favorite. They're playing at home. Bo Pribula, Ahmad Hardy. They're going to run the football for 4,000 yards.
That dude's he's very good.
Lenore Sellers apparently leaning towards being available, but
he'll play.
Yeah, they're going to shoot him up with a bunch of Toradol.
Yeah,
he'll get him out
play.
there.
He'll play. I'm going to ride with Missouri. I don't think they'll cover that 9, though.
I think they're going to cover it barely. It'll be 10 points. It'll be a 10-point. They're going to do what they. They're going to do what they did to Kansas. It's going to be back and forth. I thought my Kansas plus 6.5 was going to be safe the whole day, and then in the last drive they took it from 6 to like 12, and I was like, oh. So missed out on that. Okay, keep going at 6 o'clock. Okay, Coastal Carolina, South Alabama at 6 on ESPN Plus. If you're looking for a little South Alabama, go Jags. 6:30 ABC. Florida is at Miami. Florida's terrible season continues.
Yeah, I think it does as well. I'm gonna take Miami pretty handily in that one.
I am too. I think that this season the wheels are about to fall off.
Is Billy Napier making it out of the season? I don't know.
He's getting fired at the end of the season. We're not firing him right now because we are not letting our players redshirt and go to the portal.
That's a good call. Week 6, week 7, though.
Yeah. Once the redshirt rule is passed, once that 4 or 5 games that has passed.
I did see a little bit of speculation for that with DJ Lagway. Not anything like real, but just people saying that on Twitter that watch out, he could do this.
So I don't think he's getting fired right off the bat.
Could you imagine? He just opts out the rest of the season and says, I'd like to redshirt, and then I'll be transferring. It'd be good for him because, boy, they've reverse developed him at Florida. He has taken major steps back this year.
I kind of wonder if he's hurt.
He might be.
6:30 on NBC, Illinois, Indiana. Brett Bielema. Brett.
I don't know anything about either of these teams, to be honest, but I'd like to see Kurt Signetti lose.
Right. Brett Bielema just ISO the whole game right through their face.
Yeah.
Please, Indiana is a 6.5-point home favorite after scheduling the SEC scheduling model.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't mean to click it like that. Old Dominion, Kennesaw State, and Indiana State. They've allowed 23 points. They've allowed 23 points in 3 games. They've scored. What's that? 70. It's 83. 83 and 73 is 156. 156. They've beaten these 3 teams 156-23. Just drives me nuts, Indiana. So great job, I guess.
Give me Illinois.
Please, Illinois.
Please. I want Illinois to win.
Is Illinois more battle-tested? I didn't mean to click it that way. Let's see. Illinois has played, not much more battle-tested. They played Western Illinois, winning 52-3, Duke 45-19, and Western Michigan 38-0.
Okay.
So just a little more battle-tested with Duke, I guess.
Sure.
At 6:30 on ESPNU, Vanderbilt gets the revenge game against Georgia State.
Vandy by 100.
Yes, Vandy is a 28.5-point favorite. Diego Pavia is sitting there thinking, telling everybody, this is the game. This is the reason why nobody believes in us, because we dropped this silly game last year.
I mean, that's not wrong.
Every time I brought up, Vanderbilt is good, people go, they lost to Georgia State, Joe.
The perception of Vanderbilt would have been remarkably different last season had they just won that game.
Absolutely. So continuing on, nothing at Washington State. I'm just saying it's because of rivalry factor. We keep on going. Any other fun games? 8 o'clock, 9:15 on ESPN, Wyoming and Colorado. Golly, not a great week for college football. Only really a couple good games.
Yeah, a bit of a week slate.
Well, sweet. Good week to have off then for if you're an Alabama fan. Go be with the family. Go enjoy a haunted house. Go do a sleigh ride. Get in the pumpkin patch.
We're doing Halloween already, I guess.
We're starting it. I think that.
I know it's all. I know it's out at all the stores, but
I think that I have a haunted house planned. Activity on Saturday night, which is fine. I mean, I'll watch Oklahoma. Auburn, and then we'll go be with the lady and hold her hand as the haunted house guys go rah. And that'll do it, I guess. We'll come back next week. We'll talk a lot of Georgia. We're going to hang out on the program in the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios. I'll try to get a Georgia writer on to join us next week. We're going to get you ready for Alabama and Georgia, get the season back on track. We had a lot of fun on the bye week. I had a lot of fun with you guys. I had a lot of fun with Mason Woods. We appreciate so much Kirk McNair. We appreciate Slade Bolden, and we appreciate Mac Hare for joining us this week. If you missed any of those programs, I highly encourage you to at least listen to those portions. You can fast forward through our Hui and listen to those conversations. I am really proud of that, honestly. So I hope you all have a great week. Join us. Are we doing all things Bama here in a minute, or are we punting on the rest of the day?
I got to go pick Melissa up for the car.
All right. Well, join us back on Monday. We will talk to you right here from the Derry Daniel State Farm Studios on the Joe Gaither Show on Bama Central and BamaCentral.com.